my fellow comic book collectors. It's Alan, the Comic Collector Geek, and welcome to the show. A bit of a technical difficulty at the start there. Sorry. My contact decided that it didn't like me too much, so I had to switch out my contacts. So it's just like these contacts, new contacts. It's always fun. Um, so yeah. Hi Matt, thanks for coming. Yes, congratulations. I hit the 10,000 mark, which is the mark where I break even. So my Kickstarter, if you're paying attention or watching, has finally broke even, which is pretty awesome. I thank everybody in the community that supported my Kickstarter. Um, and actually, I kind of want to explain my Kickstarter a little bit more, so that people can understand why am I doing this Kickstarter in the first place. So that's really what this program is going to be about. I'm going to show some pretty awesome comics. I'm going to show some of the images from the Kickstarter, and I'm going to show and I'm going to tell some pretty cool stories. Hopefully you'll enjoy this show. Hi Lyle. Thank you, Lyle. Hey Collecto6. Thank you, Stephen. So basically the idea, I want to get into the process that happened with this Kickstarter. So about a year, it's almost like, I think it was like April of last year. Um, I, it starts even earlier than that, but what happened was maybe even earlier, like maybe February or March of last year, actually. What happened was somebody told me about some comic that I thought would be, they thought I would like. It was Blast Off Girls. And what happened was I basically went on a hunt for Blast Off Girls. The prices on eBay for Blast Off Girls were like really expensive. And I was like, oh, this, I really like the covers, really cool stuff. And I figured, hey, I'll check it out. I'll try to find where I can get the cheapest price for this comic called Blast Off Girls. And what happened was, I found the actual Kickstarter that did the Blast Off Girls comic. And I reached out to the guy that did the Kickstarter. His name was Steven. Different than our Steven, but another Steven. And he turned out to be a really great guy. Just a really great guy. We had a whole bunch of conversations. I told him about my collection and about collecting Golden Age books. And he kind of said that, hey, if you ever have an idea for a comic, maybe we can do something. And I said, yeah, I have lots of ideas for comics, like lots of ideas that I'd love to pursue. And one of the ideas that I had was, because I knew what kind of comics he did. He did a lot of these pinup style kind of comics. I said, well, couldn't we mix something with pinups and Golden Age girls? Because I really love the Golden Age girls. If you watch my channel, I am a good girl art collector, basically. And a lot of the comics that I buy are Golden Age good girl art characters, good girl female characters, good girl superheroes or super heroines or whatever you want to call them. And there were characters that I really liked. I just really liked these characters. And I kind of wanted to have a comic book that shared that love of these female characters with not only my viewers, because I figured, hey, there's maybe there's 4,000 people that are watching my channel. Maybe a few of them might be interested in this comic. And I figured, hey, I'll share that love that I already share on my channel in comic book format instead of YouTube format. And so the idea was hatched at that point. And so we sort of said, okay, well, let's get this started. And we kind of talked back and forth for a couple months. And then I said, let's just do it. And he said it would be a few thousand to get it started. And I was like, oh, okay. Here I'm sending off money, not knowing what was going to happen. He said, oh yeah, but it'll be quick. It'll only take a few months to get done. That was, like, as I said, about April of last year. Like April last year. It's now July of this year. So it took a year and a few months to really get started. And I I had to really strike a fine balance when I was creating this book. Um, I had to pick characters that I really, really liked, but also characters that were public domain, because that was a challenge. You can't just pick whatever character. I could say Wonder Woman and I'd be sued out of oblivion. Like I'd probably like my grandchildren would probably get sued. Just that level of DC going after you. So I had to pick public domain characters. There was a lot of public domain characters. I was actually surprised how many characters were public domain. And I'm going to actually talk more about that later in the video, because some of the characters, if I do the next issue of Vixens, which I plan to do, um, now that it is funded, like it actually reached the goal, uh, where it self pays for itself. Um, well, I'm going to probably do a second issue. I've sort of determined that I will. I was kind of nervous about doing a second issue. I was kind of hoping the first issue would fund the second issue. I don't think that's going to happen. I'd have to get to 20,000, which is double where I am right now. But you know, that was the goal. That was the goal, to get from, to get to 20. And then if I get to 20, well, it's not just funding the first one that I paid out of pocket for, it's funding the next one. I don't have to make any excuses to my family. I can say, look, it's paying for itself. The hobby's paying for itself. I can, I had all those excuses all prepared. So I could, start producing comics. So, but I was looking at the list of female characters that are public domain, and some of them are just like ones that you would be very surprised by. They're just some really great names that were on the list. Especially if you're a golden age female heroine collector like I am. There's a lot of really great names on the list. And I was like, oh man, I hope I can do all of them. There's like about 100 that I had them like created a long master list. And I was like, okay, so I can do 14 per book. It's like, that's the idea. So I have all these ideas that I really wanted to do. And actually, Stephen recently gave me another idea that would be a great another book. So this one is Vixens of the Golden Age. But another idea that Stephen was talking about was doing Damsels in Distress as another title. I think that would be a great one. It wouldn't be like, I was trying to think of how to make it work for explaining the different female characters, but it'd be more probably about the genres like crime, good girl, romance even, and also the types of bondage that you see or types of distress that you see in the Golden Age. So that might be a fun one to play with. And yeah, I'm debating about how to do that. So that's another future idea. Lots of ideas on how to promote the Golden Age, which is really my goal at the end of the day. I'm trying to promote the Golden Age and make people interested in the Golden Age. So Vixens, for people that are interested in that, if you check out the link in the description, I did put a link to the Kickstarter so you can check it out. But Vixens really is talking about 14 different characters. That's the goal. I'm showcasing 14 characters, and I'm going to show you why I like these characters, and I'm going to show you some of their books. I'm going to talk about, I'm going to show you the art for the comic. And we're going to start out with a character called Bullet Girl. Now, Bullet Girl is a pretty cool character. I'm going to show you some books with her on it. And then I'm going to show you what we did with it. So Bullet Girl is a character from the early 40s. Basically, she got her start in Nickel Comics #1, where she was just the girlfriend of Bullet Man. She wasn't her own superhero at that point. She was just the girlfriend, but the girlfriend that was very caring about her boyfriend. And Bullet Girl was, so curious that she saw her boyfriend get beaten up, and she wanted to, help him. So basically, she helped herself to some of his gear. She helped herself to his secret serum, which basically transformed her into Bullet Girl. She had all the powers of Bullet Man, and she joined in and saved him. So yeah, so here's her first appearance, Master Comics. You can see her right on the cover. This is her. She shows lots of leg, very sexy character. And this is a really cool comic in general, just because of this. You got, uh, you know, Minuteman, and he's beating up the two Nazis. Hitler was one of them, and they're forming a swastika in the punch that he's doing. But really, this book is the first appearance of Bullet Girl, and it's a cool book for that reason. Okay, so, and then we got another Bullet Girl. So I'm just trying to show you what she looked like in the Golden Age. That's what she looked like. She was kind of like a sexier version of Bullet Man, with the short shorts and tight top and the bullet helmet, which is just so quirky and fun. That's why I really liked her. I just thought she was really cute. So this is another appearance of her, number 10. And Bullet Man number 15, another great one, kind of like a Target cover. So yeah, so this is what Bullet Girl looked like in the Golden Age. And in the comic, the way I do it is I have on one page, you see what she looked like in the Golden Age. We have a modern artist redoing what she looked like in the Golden Age. And then we have a description. So you get to find out all the details about Bullet Girl, what her powers are, what comic she first appeared in, what is her first cover appearance, which just happens to be the same book. And you get to learn her origin story. I write out her origin story. And the other thing is with the characters, so you get all of that, and you get the original masthead, which you kind of see what the character would have looked like. Now, Bullet Girl doesn't actually have like the proper masthead, and on the other side, we have a pinup where it's like a modern take of Bullet Girl. And the one that did the modern take of Bullet Girl was the same artist that did Cherry Pop Tart. And his name is Larry Wells. And he did this for us. So this is, I'll zoom in, very cute looking Bullet Girl. This is if Cherry Pop Tart was Bullet Girl. So it's like a cosplay version of Bullet Girl. And it's just, you can see it's quite cute, bit sexy. If it's going to be my comic, it has to be a bit sexy. So yeah, so this is the Larry Wells Cherry Pop Tart Bullet Girl. And this is one of the pieces of art that you will get inside the comic. It's just a great comic that way. Has some pretty great art. So yeah, so that's the first of the 14 characters. Another character that maybe people are not as familiar with, but it's a really great character. It's kind of like an Archie ripoff character, is a character called Sunny. And Sunny was really created by Al Felstein. It was an interesting situation where Fox Featured Syndicate, what they would do is basically find characters from the Golden Age that were doing well. And Archie at that time was doing extremely well. So Victor Fox said, hey, to Al Felstein, can you make a comic with kind of an Archie feel to it? And, with a bit more, make it more sexy though. Make it more sexy. Have the girls in lingerie and stuff, and have them taking showers or doing something silly, where it's a bit more sexy. And they even put in suggestive things where would have triggered Frederick Wortham, because they had things where things kind of looked like other parts of the body. They actually put that in the comic, but I guess Felstein, Sonny managed to kind of skate under the radar with Frederick Wortham, so it was not mentioned in Seduction and Innocent, but it could have easily been mentioned in Seduction and Innocent, because it had that Archie feel, but a bit more risque than the standard Archie stuff. A lot more lingerie for some reason. Just a great comic. And she started out in this book. This was uh, her first appearance. So this is Sunny number 11. And basically, what happened was before this, the reason it's number 11 was a lot of the time in the Golden Age they wouldn't change the numbering system, because if you changed the numbering system, you had to pay extra for the postal service. I think it was something weird like that. And basically, yeah, totally, totally, he would be spinning in his grave. So yeah, so basically, I mean, look, I mean, even this, you get, this is very Al Felstein. So what I was going to say is Al Felstein, he really put everything into this. So typically what you do is you get like a bunch of different artists and creators involved with creating a comic. Even my comic, I have not myself, just, it's not just me. I have multiple artists. I wrote the work, but and so I'm the writer. And there's a lot of people involved. Well, with Sunny, uh, you know, at the time, Al Felstein was newly married and he needed the money. He needed some money. And so when Victor Fox said, "Hey, can you make a comic and get a team together to make it?" He's like, "Yeah, I'll get. Oh yeah, there'll be a total big team. We'll have inkers and all this kind of stuff." And he basically did all the work himself and got to save all that money. So he did all the pen and ink. He did all the pencils. He did all the coloring. He did everything, the writing and everything. So just a really great way of experiencing Al Felstein. So this is kind of, in my opinion, one of the high points for Al Felstein, because it is purely him. And his style, I don't know. At the time, he would whenever he drew women's tops, and you can see it on this one. I don't know why, but the shirt kind of clings to the girl, and that was something that was just just something that was very Al Felstein-y, and it's very a very interesting element of his artwork. I really enjoy his artwork. I think it's just beautiful stuff, and as a result, I made it a mission, or early mission, when I was started collecting Golden Age, to really get all the Sunnies and all the Juniors, which was another title that L. Felstein did under the same kind of thing. So it was Sunny and Junior were the two titles that were kind of the Archie ripoffs. And so this is Sunny number 11. I'm going to show you the few other issues. That wasn't that long. It didn't run that long. So we got another Sunny. There's another Sunny with the bull. This one's a bit rough. This is number 14. And just you could get to see, kind of cute. And she's like wearing red, and the bull's the bull's going right at her. So it's kind of fun. She's doing he loves me not. It's like with the flower. It's kind of fun. So just a really cool book. And another really great one with Sunny is this one. I mentioned this recently on my top 10 list, where a really high grade copy of it sold. Just a beautiful copy, which you might see more of in the future. But this one is my copy, which is a little bit lower grade, but it's still a nice one. It still presents really well. So this is, I think it's Sunny, I forget what issue number it is, Sunny 12, I believe, or 13. I don't know. But just a really great one. Sunny. And you can see why I would like her. Yeah. And inside, like, let's see, is this one I can open up and show you a little bit of the inside? One sec. Let me open it up a little bit here. I want to show you what the artwork looks like inside, because I really do love this book. I mean, it's a really great one. show you some of the interior art. I mean, it's just phenomenal. If you think the covers are good, like the interior art is as good. Oh, do you want me to show the? Okay, can you show the first Sunny again? Yeah, yeah, of course. One sec here. Oh, here it is. Just a really great cover. Wow. Isn't that she's like skating towards the thin ice and she's kind of flashing the guy and he's like, oh, look at him in the background. He's like, what's going on here? So yeah, just a really great great cover. One sec here. Let me just show you some like what I mean about just the interior is just so fun. One sec here. Oh yeah, here's an example. Just for some reason the girls are always like getting dressed or something. So you see her and she's like, you know, in her lingerie, getting ready for her date. And let me see. Or she's in the shower. This is got a nice shower panel. I just like, can you imagine this in the golden age? Like if Frederick Wortham had seen this, he would have freaked. He would totally freaked. But it's such a great such a great comic, and I really want to showcase that in the comic that I created. Just a phenomenal phenomenal cartoon or comic, I should say. And did I print off? I think I printed off. Let me see. I'm pretty sure I printed off what Sunny looks like in the comic. The guy that did Sunny, he was the artist Dean Neagle, who also did Mandy. So he did a Mandy cosplay cover of, and I didn't print it off. Shoot, he did a Mandy cosplay cover or in pinup for Sunny. So it looks really great. It's just a really great pinup. So definitely check that out on the Kickstarter. There's actually, I think it's like a 1 in 10. It's like a really rare variant cover that we did for that one. So yeah, so definitely check that one out. It's really cool. I was asking if we could do a risque one, but I guess they didn't think they could do a risque version of it. So sadly, no risque version of it. Okay, the next character. So that's Sunny. 2 characters of the 14. The next character that I really wanted to highlight was one that I kind of fell down this rabbit hole a few years back, like going back many years now, of Alex Schomburg. I really liked Alex Schomburg's style of art. And I fell into this whole thing where I really wanted to collect as much of Alex Schomburg's art as possible. So I really liked his stuff in Timely, where he did like a lot of really great books, really, really great covers. But I also liked The Good Girls. I really liked The Good Girls. And one of the Good Girls that he created was a character called Tara, Tara the Space Pirate. And she's just like this character who's like a swashbuckler in space. It's just like a really odd combination, but it's just a really cool. It's like his artwork and his style, his airbrush covers are just amazing. And I just really thought, wow, this Tara character, she's pretty cool. She's like, and she's like, she's got the very unusual story for a golden age female character. Typically, the female characters in the Golden Age are characters that are socialites that are bored with their lives and want to fight crime. Well, Tara's different. She's wrongly accused of a crime, and basically she goes around fighting crime in space. And she, saves planets from being attacked and all this kind of stuff. And she's a pretty cool character. Um, and she has a partner. I forget his name. I can't remember his name, but she'll fight like monsters and stuff. And this is what Tara looks like. This is an Alex Schomburg cover. Just a really great character. And she, when you're a swashbuckler pirate girl in outer space, you got to wear your sexy outfit. And she just had this really great space piratey outfit, the little beanie cap and the gloves and the swashbuckler boots and the foil. Just a really great character. I like the character design, and the stories were quite fun. So I'm doing keeps on doing thumbs up. This is the great thing about being on my iPhone, and that's her partner in the background. He always helps her. And here's her. There's another one of hers. She was in a comic called Wonder Comics, and this is actually her last appearance in the Golden Age, and it's like her last. This was the last Wonder Comics. Um, uh, who is the cover artist for Wonder Comics? First cover artist. I forgot. I think that you meant the first cover artist. I forgot the guy's name. It's not Alex Schomburg. Alex Schomburg was later on. Um, Somebody could tell me. Somebody can say in the comments. I think the first Wonder Comics is a Hitler cover, actually, which is kind of interesting. Um, but she appeared. She made her first appearance in Wonder Comics number 15, which actually doesn't feature her on the comics. But she was only in a few issues, believe it or not. So she was a very short-lived character in a way, but very fun character. And one of the things, if you look at the style of artwork, you got the girl in distress, and she's the focal. She's always the focus. The woman is always the focus on Alex Schomburg's covers. You got the woman in focus, and you always got the hero in the background, and he's just too late to save her. She's getting electrocuted. He's too late. He's not going to get there in time. And you got the evil guy in between. So and with Alex Schomburg's art, and one of the reasons why I went down that rabbit hole of collecting Alex Schomburg's art is it has a sort of a cartoony feel to it, but at the same time, it has a lot of detail, like a lot of like little like things that could possibly work, like little gadgety things and like dials and little knobs and stuff like that. And it looks like everything could function the way it is being described. And you could almost like twist the little knobs and increase the intensity of the electrodes or something like that. Just a really great artist, like very like detailed orientated artist. Just a So this is why I kind of gravitated to his artwork, and I gravitated to the characters that he created. Just Terra the Space Pirate was one of them. So this is the last issue, and this is one of those ones where Alex was kind of freelancing. He was a little bit. He wasn't. He was trying to keep his name a little bit anonymous. So he actually would write his name as Zila on the bottom. And that's one of the interesting things about Alex Schomburg. So Zila is actually Alex backwards. And so this is one of the Zila covers. As the suggestive / sexy cover becomes more common, wouldn't that naturally drive down the older sexy cover unless the cover is iconic? What is your take on this? Well, actually, the weird thing about guys, the weird thing about guys is, we never have a deficit in terms of wanting sexy art, sexy covers. Just because there's one sexy cover, we are very open to new sexy covers. It's an interesting thing about being a guy. I think we will buy as many sexy covers as there are covers. And we'll love them all equally. Maybe a few more than others, but yeah. So the point is, guys will generally collect them all. We got to get them all. We have to have, we have to all have all our women. So yeah, I think for the most part, guys will collect that kind of stuff. And I'm definitely a sign of that. I have a huge collection of sexy covers. So for Tara, we actually did what I think is actually our best cover. We did a very special cover for Tara, and I want to show you what the artwork looks like. Just a phenomenal cover that we did for Tara. And this is what the pinup will look like inside the comic. So just a really great one. You know, it kind of shows what she looks like. You know, bit of a modern take, but still maintains a little bit of that golden age thing. And I like the fact that they kept the original monster that was used in this one. You can see that this is the monster with his horns and stuff. And the artist who did this really maintained that. So I was really quite happy with the way that this one turned out. Because you could tell that they, like with each of the characters and the way I gave the art, like the artist's insight into the characters, what I did was I created like a little folder of images. I put a whole bunch of images into a folder and said, this is what the character looked like in the golden age. How would you draw the character in the modern age? And how would you sort of put your own little spin on the character? And so I gave them like folders of things, and I'm glad that this artist really took that advice and said, okay, we'll get the monster, we'll get the girl, we'll keep her kind of outfit the same way and give her a bit more sexiness. So yeah, I mean, just it really turned out well. I think this one was really, really good. I'm quite happy with it. So this is Tara the Space Pirate, and this was one of the limited edition covers that we did. So very, very fun one. Okay. Another Alex Schomburg character that I really thought was fun and great was a character called Princess Pantha. And Princess Pantha, again, is one of these characters that ends up in the jungle and really is you know, when you end up in the jungle as a woman, you gotta wear your bikini top and bottom, leopard skin usually, and you know, it's like one of those things that they do. It's sort of a funny thing that is done in the Golden Age, where the characters are always ending up in the jungle, and they have to wear the most inappropriate jungle clothes ever. It's like. So yeah, so Princess Pantha is actually a very interesting character. She was a Western woman who basically was an animal trainer. That's her background. And there was this monster gorilla attacking people and attacking these tribes in Africa. So she decided, hey, I got to go there, save the day. And so she ends up in the jungle, and she's wearing her her little jungle outfit. You know, and you'll see what I mean by that. So one sec here. I gotta just do a quick shout out to K-pop. K-pop, actually, I really want to say thank you to her. She had me on her channel, and her channel was really devoted to helping people within the community. And she really helped get my Kickstarter, you know, going and promoted. So yeah, I really am thankful to her. When we did our live stream together, we had almost 200 people. It was like really high number of people. She had like it going not on YouTube, only on YouTube, but she had it going through Twitch and through X. So just a whole bunch of ways she was promoting this live stream, and it did really well. I was really impressed by how many people we had watching. I was just like, I was very, very excited by the opportunity that she gave me to promote my Kickstarter. So I really am thankful. Thank you, Katie, for all your help. So please, if you haven't already, go and check her channel out, because she really does support a lot of creators who produce Kickstarters. And she's actually a super backer. So she not only supports them by having them on her show, but she actually buys their comics. So very great woman. Just go and check her channel out and subscribe to her. But back to Princess Pantha. So this is a cover with Princess Pantha, a nice airbrushed Schomburg cover. This was actually one of the covers that I was chasing after this one for a while. I really liked it. I just thought it was such a cool one. She's riding the tiger's back. Um, the great thing is there's no tigers in Africa. It's like I love that. So tigers are an Asian thing, not a African thing. Like there's lions in Africa, but there's no tigers. Um, but yeah, but what it is what it is. It's like you got she's riding a tiger. She's wearing her bikini, and it's just like a really, really great character. Some really great covers with her from the Golden Age. And this is like a great Alex Schomburg one. So this is Thrilling Comics number 62. Just a really fun Alex Schomburg cover. And just an interesting one. So this is, yeah, I'm not sure if it's a Zila as well. This is also a Zila. So if you see down, I'm not sure if you can see it, but in the grass there, it says Zila. So these were all done for Better Publications or Nidar. And Alex would always sign a Zila when he was working there. I'll show you another cover with her. This is her first, this is actually her first cover appearance. This is Thrilling Comics number 58. And just another one with her and a tiger. So, yeah. So, yeah. I think actually the tiger becomes her pet, if I remember correctly. So yeah, so that's Princess Pantha, another character. Believe it or not, I don't even have the artwork yet for Princess Pantha. It's supposed to be done any day now. So these artists, this was part of the reason it took so long to produce this comic. It took, as I said, almost over a year. And we were just waiting on artwork, and like they would send stuff and I'd say, oh, not quite, I don't really, it's not quite what I want, or it just wasn't quite good enough. So we'd send it back and forth. like and so I ended up trying to produce the best comic I could, like by getting just that quality art from the artists. um yeah I mean, it's totally appropriate tiger taming attire, of course. I mean, that's what you wear if you're gonna tame tigers. You gotta wear a bikini. Come on. It's just what you do. um so yeah if you dress as a pork chop, you're probably not going to do so well with the tiger taming. So so that's Princess Pantha. I don't have the artwork yet to show. Once it drops, once I receive it, I will post it out on my Instagram. So stay tuned for that. I'll be doing posts even past the final date. The final date for the Kickstarter is Monday. So like basically we have today and tomorrow to really fund this Kickstarter. Hopefully we can get to that 20,000 mark. I know it's like a really big number, but that's really where I need it to be in order to fund the next the next issue. I really do appreciate everyone that supported the Kickstarter so far. It's at the break even part, which is really all that I should ask for in life. Just to have it where it funds itself. But the next stage would be for it to not just fund itself, but to fund future projects. Maybe not just have one comic going on, but maybe a couple would be great. So yeah, I have lots of ideas. I'm very good at creating content in my mind, and I have so many ideas I'd love to do. So if it could fund those other ideas, that's really where I was trying to go. The next character, another Alex Schomburg character in a way, because he did the art for her. As I said, I went down this rabbit hole of collecting Alex Schomburg. I just really loved Alex Schomburg's stuff. The next character is a character that I fell in love with. I really love this character. Um, and it's a character called Miss Mask. And Miss Mask is the typical archetype for the Golden Age characters. She is a social. Yes, my mind is bubbling. Um, so she is a socialite, bored with her, you know, socialite life, uh, and puts on an alter ego of Miss Mask to fight crime. And she has a boyfriend who's a detective, and he's always saving her in the end. She's always ends up in bondage or something. But she does fight. You know, she actually fights reasonably well. But she seems to always get trapped. I don't know why. It's like a thing. Like, you know, you have to have the girl in bondage. I don't know. It's a thing. So yeah, so if you actually look right behind me, I have actually one of the only bondage covers with her on the with her. So but Miss Mask is a great character. Um and here's an example of Miss Mask from the Golden Age. Now, this is another Alex Schomburg cover. And really, she had two different styles of wardrobe. Her original style is one that actually was not as sexy, but is one that was more enduring because it was like a full costume, like full, like no, this is more like a halter top, and she always has this little cape. Um, and again, the little the little beanie hat. I don't know, like a beret. So yeah, but yeah, the original was much more of a full outfit, and that was actually what Dynamite used when they created their version of Miss Mask. They kept the more full, less revealing version of her costume. So when we did the artwork for the comic, we used the more modern take of Miss Mask, where it's the full costume. I kind of like the sexy one better, personally. That's personal, but we did use the more full take on her. And you got to go over to the Kickstarter to see how that turned out. They did a very elaborate drawing of her, you know, with like guns ablazing, like just like a whole bunch of stuff happening. So just a really cool cover that we did for her. Now, the next character that Alex Schomburg was involved with, but he didn't actually create. This character was one of the few characters from the Golden Age where it was really a woman who made the character and wrote the stories, and really complex stories. I mean, really awesome stories of betrayal and like spying and like just like so much elements. So it's not just one bad guy versus the good guy. It's like multiple bad guys versus each other that impact the good guys, and the good guys are trying to stop all these different bad groups that are working against each other. And it's just like so much story happening. Um, and you know, when you read one issue of Miss Fury, it feels like you've read like 10 comics. It's just like so much content within like a very short story. Um, so yeah, Miss Fury is one of these characters that Alex Schomburg was involved with. So we got, and the writer was June Tarpe Mills, and she dropped the June because she didn't want people to know that she was a woman. And she thought, oh, maybe people won't publish me if I use my name, my full name, which is June Tarpe Mills. And so what she did is she used Tarpe Mills, and she got published in the newspapers, and it was a very popular series, very risque. I mean, again, this is a character that for some reason always has to remove her costume or put her costume on and take off her clothes to do so. And it was a character that was very sexy. I mean, very risque for the time period. and they decided to make her into comic book format. And this is her first appearance in comics, Miss Fury #1. And it's an Alex Schomburg Tarpe Mills mixture cover. So yeah, so it's just a really great book. It's one of my favorite covers too. I just think it's the greatest thing. She's swinging in, and she's using her super long legs. Like, I've never seen such long legs on a woman, but she's using her super long legs to like kick three guys at the same time. And Miss Fury's origin is kind of interesting. She was, I think she's actually Canadian. She was Canadian and visiting the Mardi Gras, and she needed a costume for the Mardi Gras party, the masquerade, or the dress up party. And she went into a shop and bought a costume, but just happened that this costume was kind of cursed. Like, it had like some magic in it that would give you the spirit of vengeance. And it was one of those things where uh show that Miss Fury book from her first Kickstarter. I actually, Stephen, I have that book, but it's actually really hard to get to. It's really hard to get to. It's in my little cubby room right back there. So it's a little hard to get to. By the way, I just want to quickly say hi, Bleeker, by the way. So yeah, so I wish I could show it. It's a really great cover. I know what the one he's talking about. It's like where she's putting on the costume, and it's just such a sexy cover. It's like her putting on the costume, and it's just like a semi-nude cover. It's just a really great one. And then we got, this is #5, another one. This one, you can tell that the war was in full force at this point, and instead of going up against just regular thugs, she's going up against Japanese soldiers. So, and this has got the very Alex Schomburg feel to it, where the Japanese soldiers have the buck teeth, and they're like whipping the U.S. servicemen. Here, let's see if I can show that well. And you got Miss Fury again. She's always taking out 3 at a time. I don't know what her capabilities are amazing. Just a really great character, and from a female creator, which is awesome. Let me see if I can show you the artwork that we did for her. Here, I think I have it. I think I published. Yeah, we used an artist called Patrick Finch. He's a very talented artist, and he did Miss Fury. This is his version of Miss Fury, which is really fun. So Patrick Finch, and this is Miss Fury. So yeah, you're right, K-pop. It's great that her covers are great, and they are trying to bring her back. They did the Kickstarter. I think it did really, really well, their Kickstarter, to bring back Miss Fury, because again, these are characters that were really cool from the golden age that just sort of disappeared. Like, they didn't get revived. And part of the reason why I'm doing the comics that I'm doing is to try to, repopularize these characters and at least share them with the world. So yeah, so Miss Fury is definitely one that is really, really awesome. Yeah, it was Tusi and Maria. Yeah, they did a really, really awesome job. If you see their Kickstarter, the Miss Fury books are truly books. They're like these hardcover books that you can get, and they're just done very, very well. The artwork inside is amazing. The covers are amazing. The stories are like, you get a sense of how Miss Fury worked. Just a really great Kickstarter that they did. I recommend people check out that Kickstarter too. It's already been funded and already done, but I'm not sure if you can still order books from it, but definitely great stuff. Uh, Atma is another great female character. Believe it or not, I actually had the first appearance of Atoma. I don't think she appeared in that many comics. I think it's just one comic that she appeared in, by the way. But yeah, she is a great character, sort of this a futuristic character, but very fun. Okay, so that's Miss Fury. Actually, I realized I didn't show all the Sunnies that I had handy. Also, I had Sunny number 13. So if you missed the Sunny that I showed earlier, I had one more that I could show, Sunny 13. And I just think this one's really cute. This gives you a sense of that but cute but sexy style of Sunny. That's what I really like. In a way, I don't like really overtly sexy, like where it's like, oh, kind of sleazy. I like this cute but sexy, kind of innocent sexy. And this is why I really like Sunny. So Sunny was just really awesome. Elle Philstein did an amazing job on her. So this is it's got lingerie panels. Again, it's cute but sexy. But definitely sexy. So yeah, so that's Elle Felstein's one. Now another character that is in the comic that is really cool is one that actually I managed to make I managed to FOMO Steven on. And so much so that actually he ended up creating a figurine of this character, which is so funny, just so awesome actually. And it's a character called Lady Luck, and Lady Luck is this character again, super wealthy. she she's like insanely wealthy, and she wants to fight crime, and she has this kind of sidekick, like who's like he's like a Count Money, I think his name is, or something like that. And he is just a goof. He is a total goof. He doesn't actually have any money. And yeah, I'll show the figurine, Matt. So this is the figurine that Stephen created, or got created, I should say. And it's just like it's so cool. Oh yeah. Make sure you say which Stephen. I'm not sure which Stephen it was. It was some Stephen out there. You might know him, Stephen. Um, that's checking. It was my friend Stephen Gentner. He just a Collecto6. Uh, you got to check him out on Instagram. He is an amazing dude. Very knowledgeable. Puts my knowledge to shame, actually. So yeah, so Lady Luck. I got him to really um, get into this character, and it was a Finnish artist that actually worked on Lady Luck, and he did such an amazing job. Nordling is his name, and Klaus Nordling, and just a really great artist. He would always, whenever she had to like put on her persona of Lady Luck, she would have to strip down and get into her lingerie and, and then put her on her little costume, which really, it's sort of the Batman, not Batman, but the Superman idea of, if you wear spectacles, all of a sudden nobody can recognize you. Well, she's got this little mask, this little veil that she wears that somehow disguises her identity. And isn't this really cool that you get a figurine? Well, that was inspired by one of the covers of of Lady Luck, and I'll show you her first cover and her first issue. This is Lady Luck number 1, or actually, it's Lady Luck 86, because before this it was another title where she made her first appearance. So yeah, so formerly Smash Comics, actually. And this is the guy I was talking about. That's just a lame duck. He's just so useless. He's always getting her into more trouble than she needs to get into. Um, yeah. Oh, that's Steven. I've never met him. Yeah. But yeah, so Lady Luck is just really, she's kind of lean and kind of mean. She's just awesome. Another thing with these characters is their powers, they had no powers for the most part. Miss Fury does have powers, but Lady Luck didn't. She was just a good fighter and super wealthy. So that's her powers, I guess. But the masked Deb, who makes the four-leaf clover mean poison ivy to crime. So yeah, it's just, and the cool thing about the comics with these characters like Lady Luck is they in the comic they had a lot of respect. Like people really respected these characters. They weren't like oh that goofball character. Like the police were like, oh it's Lady Luck coming to save the day. It's like it was, it was interesting. Like they really respected the characters inside the comics. And it wasn't just like some tryhard. These were characters that were legitimately fighting crime and were respected. Um, so yeah, so Lady Luck. I have one more cover with her, another slab. I have the full collection of Lady Luck, actually, but we got one more here. This is another Lady Luck, and you can see her her sidekick. I don't know what he is. He's just sort of like this hang on guy. And you see the woman, she's like putting poison into the cup. And he's just like casually reading about great love. And he's like so smitten by the girl that he doesn't realize that she's trying to murder him. And you got Lady Luck trying to save the day by switching out the cup. You can see that. So much going on. I love Golden Age covers because even though this is a bit of a pinup, like in terms of like the cover, one of the things with Golden Age covers is they tell a story, and I really love that. I really respect that about the Golden Age, where you have this whole story being told within just one image. Um, and you have to read inside in order to find out what's going to happen. Is he going to drink from the poison cup? Is Lady Luck going to be able to switch the cup before he drinks from it? And yeah, it's just a just really cool book. Uh, and it's a Gil. This one is a Gil Fox cover, and Klaus Norling's story and art inside. And he did amazing artwork inside, just really awesome stuff. So that's Lady Luck. I think I printed off. Did I print off Lady Luck? I don't think I printed off Lady Luck. One sec here. Lady Luck, again, really great cover. Actually, I found the cover for Miss Mask. Just so I might as well show it since I found it. So this is what the Miss Mask cover will look like. I think we did it as like limited to 1 in 5 or 1 in 10. It's like really limited. But just as I was saying, it gives you that feel of a whole bunch of action and stuff. And yeah, her hat's flying off. She always wore this kind of like uh sombrero kind of hat. So yeah, just a really great one. So that's Miss Mask and Lady Luck. I thought I wish you gotta check out. Okay, go over to the Kickstarter, check out the artwork that we did for Lady Luck. It's phenomenal. It's one of my favorite covers as well. Really enjoy that one. Um, Now there's some other characters. I'm gonna wrap it up soon, actually. Um, that also are inside the book. One is like Senorita Rio, Rita, Senorita Rio, Rio, jeez. And one sec here. I'll show you what she looks like. I'll just show you the characters and we'll kind of wrap it up a little bit. So that's Senorita Rio. And she was just like a spy, basically a spy. Very cool character. She was a entertainer for the USO or whatever the overseas troops that would go and entertain the troops overseas. And she at the same time she was doing that, she was spying and helping supply information to the U.S. military. And then we have another character that's really great. We have Rula, who is it was done by George Weber, and just this has got everything that you want for the Golden Age. It has the skulls, it has the bondage, it has the little tribal guys, it has the snake, it has everything. It's just a lot of stuff going on. We have actually both a naughty version and a nice version. This is the nice version, believe it or not. So yeah, so that's a fun one. And another character that we did was Judy of the Jungle. Judy of the Jungle is another one of these characters that was made by Alex Schomburg with phenomenal airbrush covers for her. And this is what Judy of the Jungle looks like. And we have a naughty and nice version of this as well. So these are all like really good ones. Would you like to see a live action Lady Luck movie in the modern day or in the 40s? So in a way, I kind of feel like these characters were kind of designed for the 40s. They have that 40s style to them, aesthetic and like just mannerisms. Like she wouldn't necessarily work in the modern era. I'd kind of like, if you're gonna do Lady Luck, I would like it to be set back in the 40s, just with that kind of, you know, 40s style, just the way the women acted back then and the way that they dressed back then. I think it worked more. It would work better for her. Miss Mask is a character where she could probably be brought into the modern era and fit in. But Miss Lady Luck is one of the ones I feel really is of her time. So yeah. You could use a DC yellow background on those. Always my fave. Yeah. That's yeah, that's another thing that they would do a lot in the Golden Age, is have the yellow backgrounds. Some other characters that we are showcasing. Another one is Black Cat. And Black Cat is just a really awesome character as well. Alex Schomburg, again, worked on her. You'll notice a very Alex Schomburg theme in terms of a lot of the characters that I chose. And Lee Elias worked on Black Cat. And, you know, just a character that, again, she's a Hollywood starlet. And she went through very, like, all these different variations. Where at first she was like a motorcycle riding girl that would go and fight crime. She had her young sidekick that would help her as well. And she'd get into all sorts of trouble. And then she later went into the westerns. They made her more westerns style, where she would ride on a horse to fight crime. And then they made her title into a pre-code horror comic for a while. And then they brought it back to Black Cat at the end, where they brought her back. But it's just one of these titles that kind of went all over the place. And yeah, Black Cat is just a fun one here. Let me zoom in a bit so you can see her a bit better. And just a really cool character. The version that's in the comic will be colored. This is just a black and white version of it. But just a cool character. Yeah, I show some. I get into her story within the comic, and you can learn all about Black Cat inside the comic. And the last one that I'm going to show for this show is by another one by the artist for Mandy, Dean Yeagle. And this is Moon Girl. And Moon Girl's a really great character as well. And this is our very sexy version of her. So yeah. Now, Moon Girl was actually an interesting character because she was EC's only superhero. She, if you think about EC Comics, they did religious stuff. They were educational comics. And they really wanted to get into the superhero genre. But and they decided to try to use Moon Girl to be that one that would get them into the superhero genre. But some reason it just didn't resonate. The character was cool, but never really resonated. So what they did is they started out with Moon Girl and the Prince, and then it became Moon Girl, and then it became a romance book at one point. And then they just kept on going through these different title changes, and they just never found their place. And then it became a total romance book at the end. Um, Oh, you ordered one of the naughty covers. Cool. I mean, Moon Girl, what we did is we did a naughty and nice one. I am trying to convince my partner, Stephen Frank, to do a naughty nice hologram cover. So this is the nice version. The naughty version is just this part has somehow slipped down, and it's a little bit more naughty, but naughty in a tasteful way. It's very, again, I like more innocent fun rather than like explicitly sexual. Um, yeah, so just a cool character. What I'm planning to do, and I'm hoping we can do this. I'm like, again, it's one of those things I'm really pushing for, um, is to have like a hollow foil where it's like transitional between the naughty and nice version of Moon Girl. I think that'd be really, really fun. I think if we're going to do it, because it's really expensive to do those hollow foils, that we'll have to do it very, very limited, like maybe 5 copies. So very limited one. Lenticular is the word I'm looking for. Thank you. Thank you. I meant lenticular. I meant lenticular. Um, yeah, that's what I meant. Yes, that's what I meant. Holofoil, I know, holofoil is something different. But lenticular, where it kind of transitions. Um, so yeah, so what does Andy Kaufman have to do with it? It's not what was the name of the moon? Man on the Moon, I believe is the name of the movie. Um, yeah. Yes, I meant lenticular. Okay. I was lenticular. Lenticular, lenticular. So yeah. Uh it was what I'm hoping is that I can get a lenticular cover where it's the naughty nice. I'd really like to. I think it would be just fun. I like to do fun things. And what really got me into these characters in a way is my love of the bad girls from the 90s. And back then they were always doing lenticulars and holofoils and chrome and like all this kind of like, you know, gimmicky stuff. And I'd like to incorporate some of that gimmicky stuff into my comic if I can. Um, okay, well, I can also try that. But yeah, so this is one of those things I really wanted to do. Have some fun elements to it. Make the comic fun. At the end of the day, I want it to be something that people really enjoy. And I hope that my love of these characters comes through and people check out the Kickstarter. It's only 2 days left. You got 2 days to really go over there and check it out and hopefully, participate in it. If you're a collector, this is probably a good one to collect because my channel's not going anywhere. I'm going to probably be doing YouTube for many, many years. And as my channel grows, the demand for these comics will probably grow. And there's not many going to be produced. It's going to be very limited. Like there's only 150 backers. So the most of any book is probably going to be like less than 100. Less than 100. It's going to be really, really limited. And that's what makes these will be super rare. And if you're a collector slash investor, these are probably good books to invest in because it's just it's going to be super rare, and it's something that I'll probably babble about in future episodes on my channel, and people will be like, "Oh, where can I pick that up?" And I'll be like, "Well, you can't. It's super rare. It's hard to find. They're worth billions of dollars." So yeah, so yeah, it's not like we're gonna have like long boxes of these that turn up later on in life. They're only going to be very limited. I think it's going to be like some of them are like less than 25, and some of them are less than 5. And there is one that's only one of one. Stephen Gentner bought that one. So yeah, so it's going to be one of those things that is really rare. Actually, in terms of Gerber, by the way, Tyson, scarce is more common than rare. Rare is actually, so scarce is actually more of a common thing than rare. So yeah. Oh, yes, I'm going to artificially inflate the book to gazillions of dollars. That's the goal, right? That's the goal of any producer. You gotta make your comic worth millions and millions of dollars. Just one comic can put your kids through university and your grandkids through university. Um, so yeah, this is I have to, there's that collector part of me, the investor side of that collector inside of me that always sees something like this as a good opportunity. It's sort of like when Bitcoin was like, very cheap and you could have gotten it for a cost of a donut or something like that. And I don't know. I think the first one was either a burger or a pizza somebody ordered with it. Um, and now it's worth like thousands and thousands of dollars. So that's what this is. These are the Bitcoin of comics. So yeah. Um, there's no GoFundMe. It's only going to be on Kickstarter. It's going to be very exclusive. Probably if we do another one, another issue, we'll still keep it exclusive to Kickstarter. Um, I like the idea of making them rare. Um, and you're only in it for the sticker? Oh my goodness. Actually, believe it or not, now that we've made it to that 10,000 mark, we've actually unlocked the last sticker and it's like the full sticker. So whoever, like if you sponsor it now, you get all the rewards, which is like all the little, it's all like, bookmarks, postcards and stickers. You get the first sticker is the sticker of me, which is like maybe not the best prize, but it's for the lowest tier, so you get what you get. But the later sticker, the last sticker that we just unlocked, is like all the like not all the characters, but most of the characters all together lined up, and it's kind of a cool sticker. Um, so yeah, so definitely check out the Kickstarter. The link is in the description. I hope everyone checks it out, and really we got today and tomorrow to fund this thing some more. Hopefully we can get to that next stage. I don't think so. But if we can get to that next stage where I can fund the next comic, that'd be make my life so much easier. But yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed this live broadcast. I really do appreciate all the community supporting my Kickstarter. Um, and yeah, thanks again, everyone. Bye for now.